Today, I'll be showing you how to set up KubeCost on a Kubernetes cluster so that you can measure, forecast, and help control your infrastructure spend on one or more Linode Kubernetes Engine clusters. This tutorial is designed so you can follow along easily, try all this out yourself. It's really just a few steps, and it can make a huge difference in how much money you spend in your production Kubernetes deployments. I'm David, developer advocate working for Akamai. You might know me as Tutorial Linux on YouTube. If you do, I'm sorry. I've spent a lot of time on the infrastructure side as an infrastructure engineer, a platform engineer, and an SRE. And one thing I've seen many times is infrastructure costs, cloud costs, getting out of control. One of the great promises of the cloud and of technologies like Kubernetes in particular is that they help you centralize and aggregate resources and thereby lower costs. But actually getting to the lowering your costs portion takes a little bit of work. This is where tools like KubeCost and a lot of the other tools discussed in the linked article or tutorial can really help. Now that you know why we're doing this, let's get started. By the way, I really encourage you to follow along, and if you're new to cloud computing or just new to our platform, there's a link in the description to get a $100 60-day credit when you sign up. So click that link and sign up to follow along with this tutorial. Let's get to it.
So first, just a few prerequisites. The first thing you'll need is the locally installed programs that you'll need to interact with a Kubernetes cluster running anywhere, and that's kubectl and helm. In the article, there are instructions for installing that, so just install that however it's appropriate for whatever OS and platform you're running on. The second thing you'll need is, well, you guessed it, a Kubernetes cluster. I'm using a Linode Kubernetes Engine, or LKE cluster, and you can see in this shot here that I've got that set up and running, and you can see the individual VMs are green and everything is rolling. From there, you'll want to download that kubeconfig.yaml file. It might be named for your cluster name, as it is in my case. Let's take a look at that file on our file system. This one's in my downloads directory. And we're going to come back to those permissions in a second. First, we're going to export the kubeconfig environment variable and point it at that file so that we can pass this as part of the config when we install KubeCost. Speaking of those file permissions, they're not wrong, but we're going to tighten them up a little bit to prevent any warnings from kubectl when we actually use it. So we're going to chmod change the file mode to 600, which means the user that owns the file can read and write it. Others from that user's group can't do anything with it, and anyone else on the system can't do anything with it either. So that'll kind of fix up the permissions for us, and you'll be good to go. Next, we're going to register with KubeCost on their website so that we can get an API key to use with the KubeCost software. The link is in the tutorial, and when you click through the first time, it'll prompt you to sign up with an email address. You can use your work email address if you're doing this for a work project, and you'll be immediately redirected to the dashboard that shows you your KubeCost token. In fact, it shows you the exact helm command you need to run to get this installed. When you run that helm command, including your unique KubeCost API key in there, it'll start a deployment on your LKE Kubernetes cluster. And I wanted to quickly show you an error that can happen if you are rolling through this tutorial too quickly, which is if that deployment is still running, then the port forwarding command won't work. It'll throw an error because the app hasn't finished deploying yet. So these two troubleshooting commands you see me using, which is checking the node state and then checking this deployment's state, are the two that you might want to run if this doesn't work right away. But trust that the deployment will work, and then run your port forwarding command. And what this is going to do is map this application, the port that this application is listening on your Kubernetes cluster, to your localhost. And that means you can open a new browser window or tab and go to localhost 9090 and find the KubeCost dashboard. Now, when you first start, it'll be initializing. It'll take just a few minutes to gather data from your cluster. Obviously, if you have more stuff running, it might take just a tiny bit longer. And I'm going to cut to when this is complete. Okay, it's done. Yay. As before, the data is not super interesting here because this is a demo cluster. But you can see actually a bunch of kind of interesting screenshots on their website of this running on like larger, much more realistic clusters that have lots of applications running on them. And you can start to see where this is going to start saving you a lot of money. But even on a demo cluster, I actually find this kind of interesting. There's a lot of data here and you can kind of see what it's looking at. So you can even add multiple Kubernetes clusters to this. A couple of final notes. Now there are alternatives to KubeCost that you can be using that you may have heard of, and those are discussed in the Akamai article. So I do recommend that you check that out and look at some of the discussion to see, is anything a better fit for you? Long term, if you're going to run this, you're also going to want to make sure to update and upgrade the KubeCost application. And thankfully, there are instructions on how to do that on the KubeCost website. If you scroll down, you'll see it right there in the page that you see when you're logged in on the dashboard.
That's it. If you followed along, you just set up KubeCost on your K8s Kubernetes cluster. And you're probably already seeing where you can save a little bit of money. And if you're still not sure whether or not to try this out, there's no risk. Click the link in the description and you'll get $100 60-day credit when you sign up. I hope this has been useful for you, and I hope it's gotten you started with KubeCost. Thanks.